Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the third annual Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame High School Football Preview. Tonight, we'll hear how every program is doing here in Tuscarawas County, and we're excited to host this here at the Tuscarawas Senior Center. One of the few things I want to start with is by thanking our corporate sponsors. They are Big Time Sports. They're all in our programs. Altman Care, Alt Care, Albin Title, Ferris Chevrolet, Kennedy Insurance, Solid Rock, and our Senior Center here for hosting. If we could give our sponsors a round of applause, please. I would also like to mention our media that's in attendance tonight, the Times Reporter, WJER, WTUZ, WBTC, and Big Time Sports. Please give them a round of applause for joining us. I would also like to introduce our trustees for the Tuscarawas County Hall of Fame. I'm Frank Pullen. I serve as Indian Valley's representative. Tom Farbizo, our president. Connie Evans. Jim Carruthers, who represents Claymont Schools. Mike Gunther, Dover City Schools. Dave Shutt, Garraway Local Schools. Randy Addy, Newcomerstown. Terry Straub, Strasburg. Bob O'Donnell, Tuscarawas Central Catholic. Amy Burrier, Tuskegee Valley. And Hank Keithley at large as our media representative. And also Jim Gill from Dover Public Library. Let's give our committee a round of applause, please. Part of our duties as a Tuscarawas Hall of Fame obviously is to induct applicants. There is a brochure available. If you have people that are interested or you want to nominate somebody, please do so from each of your districts. We're always going through those lists and look forward to doing that annually, going through those, and as we cycle through every 2 years for the announcements. Also part of the duty is a way of honoring our current athletes. And one of the things our committee decided to do in the last year was we've made a motion that was accepted and moved forward that we will honor every state championship team moving forward, as well as any individual who wins a state championship will be honored by our Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame. Now, we're fortunate that in our first year's inception of this, that we had a fall team win the state title, and also we had a spring team that will be honored as the first two recipients of such a thing. So it is a great pleasure that I have the opportunity to, I know Coach Lancaster was here a year ago, and he talked about the support of his community because he followed Coach Wallach. And he mentioned how Coach Wallach had this great run, and they had a good run, he said, but it wasn't quite as good as Coach Wallach's. But his community was there in support and different things along those lines. So tonight, Indian Valley will be the first recipient of an honor from the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame. Indian Valley football team demonstrated dedication, teamwork, and excellence throughout the 2024 football season. Their motto was reach higher, and so they did. Under the outstanding leadership of head coach Matt Lancaster, the team displayed exemplary sportsmanship, determination, and perseverance. They lived every team, every coach's, every athlete's dream, winning a state title for their community. This championship victory represented a milestone for the district, the community, and our county. So the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame would like to extend congratulations to the 2024 Indian Valley football team and head coach Matt Lancaster. Now I know that Coach Lancaster during the ring ceremony and different things along that lines, his specific words were, "This will be our last celebration and we will move forward." We have one more thing for Coach Lancaster. Would you please join us here, Coach? So we would like, as members of the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame, we would like to present a plaque to the Indian Valley School District and Coach Lancaster. The plaque reads as such: in honor of an unforgettable season defined by courage, excellence, and unity, the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame is honored to present the commemorative award to the 2024 Indian Valley football team for their dedication and success. You have brought pride and inspiration to the Indian Valley community and to all of Tuscarawas County. It has the entire schedule, including the championship day and score, 37-36. Saturday, December 7th, 2024 at Tom Benson Stadium. Congratulations, Coach. He said he'll save his few words a little bit later. At this time, I would like to bring Jim Gill to the podium, and Jim is going to give some information on our new display board, and then we will also be, Jim will be releasing us to dinner after his prayer. Jim?
Thank you, Frank. Coach Lancaster, we have a half of a helmet to give you as well for something down the road for you, okay? That trophy was done by Dan Werther at Werther Woodworking, so he was able to slice that and mount that. You're going to need a heavy hanger on that, though.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to point out our video board here. This is how we honor our inductees for the Sports Hall of Fame. We have a permanent touch screen at the Dover Public Library, which is kind of the home base for the Hall of Fame. It's an interactive, obviously, touch screen. This is not touch screen. This is just a smart TV, but you get an idea of the way we honor our inductees. So in your program, there's the URL, the web address for how you can access that anywhere in the world on the World Wide Web. So the cool thing is that we record the speeches when inductees are accepted into the Hall of Fame. And so all the inductees have their speeches captured for posterity. So please check that out and play around with it. And it's a great thing. I want to point out that Wendy's and Unified Bank are big sponsors that allow us to have this technology. So you're welcome to play around. You have to use the mouse and the laptop, but at the library, remember it's touchscreen. Let's say
now I have the honor of introducing the current head football coaches from Tuscarawas County. Same thing, if you gentlemen could stand and remain standing until we announce them all. From Claymont, Buddy White. Tuscarawas Central Catholic, Giovanni Iono. Dover, Matt Reese. Garraway, Jason Wallach. Indian Valley, Matt Lancaster. New Philadelphia, Mike Johnson. Newcomerstown, Dirk Gadd. Strasburg, Jim Morris. And Tusky Valley, Cade Adams. Hear it for these gentlemen. Okay, now we have time where we give each coach a chance to come up and talk about their teams. We're going to start this year with Indian Valley's Matt Lancaster.
Okay, I got to start off by saying with an exception. Hank, when I got here, he said, "Hey, you get the option of going first if you want." And I said, "Well, wait a second, that's not right. In the absence of Coach Ift, Coach Wallach is now the Dean of Tuscarawas County Coaches." And Hank's words were, "Well, right now you have more street cred than him." His words, not mine, Jason. No. I swore I wasn't going to say anything about that, but since the Hall of Fame did honor our team with such a great award, I will say thank you to the Hall of Fame, and more so, thank you to the entire county and all the former coaches, all the area schools, all these coaches up here and their programs. We've talked about it before, the support that our county gives any program that makes a run. well, I can tell you it was special, the feeling that our kids and our coaches got with the whole county behind them last year. So thank you to all of you. Couple more thank yous. Thanks to our administration. Sitting at the table right here, we have great leadership, and we're blessed at Indian Valley. To my coaching staff, also sitting here, blessed to coach with the same guys for a couple decades now. To all our fans in Braves Nation, to my family, especially to my wife. I gotta say that, especially since Coach Gadd's gonna get up here and dote all over his in a minute. Actually, my wife would like to thank me for not making her come to this event. But really, thank you to all these coaches up here. We're blessed to have really good coaches and really good football programs in Tuscarawas County. And when we're competing against each other, that 1 week of the year, that competition is fierce. But the rest of the year, I can promise you that we're friends, we're colleagues, we're in a fraternity together, and we take care of each other, we help one another out, and we know what each other goes through. Some preview about our team, some key losses. As always, the high school football program is going to lose some key guys. We lost a couple good ones. Not a huge senior class, but two of the most notable guys are Jackson Berger. He was a key for us, and replacing him left a big hole. So we're going to have to replace him by committee. We're still looking for those guys and who they're going to be. And our center, Hunter Peterman. Whenever you lose seniors and a guy who touches the ball and starts every playoff, you know there's some holes to replace. I'm going to take a lesson from the Dean of Area Coaches too, and not mention any of our current players' names, because I like that approach, because a lot of these kids haven't proven themselves yet, and B, I'll probably forget one of them, and then that's no good. So we have 7 returning offensive and 7 returning defensive starters. On offense, we return our running back. I'll mention his name, Grady Kenzie, because he has proven himself. He's a good player, and we're excited to have him back. Our quarterback, a couple wide receivers, and 3 offensive linemen. That's probably the area we're looking to solidify the most. Is it all starts up front, and we lost a couple good offensive linemen, and we're looking for those guys to gel every day. Right now, I promise that's our focus at practice, is finding that unit that's going to gel. On defense, we were very young on that side of the ball last year, and we got a lot of those guys back. So we're expecting our defense to be much more improved, much more consistent, and compete on a more regular basis. Some challenges that we've seen, anytime you have a solid season and coming into the next season, especially when there's high expectations, is complacency. Anytime you're coming off a good season with all the accolades and things like that, kids have been patted on the back so much, and we got to try to bring them back down to earth. And one of the lessons I took from last year was from St. Clairsville's head coach, Brett McClain. In our regional championship game, we beat them pretty soundly, and he graciously offered to talk to me the following week. He's like, hey, I want you to make it all the way, so give me a call, because I've been there. And so I called him, and I started off by kind of apologizing and say, hey, I didn't think I was going to get out of hand like that. You know, that. He said, shut up right there. He said, our team was fat and happy, and yours was hungry. He said, stay hungry. So that's our motto this year, is stay hungry. You know, not dwell on complacency, and nothing we've done in the past is going to have anything to do with 2025's Braves. So we're excited about this season. We have the toughest schedule we probably ever have had in my career there. So we know we're going to get thrown into the fire right off the bat, but we're excited for the challenge. And I wish every team up here best of luck and the best of health in 2025. Thank you.
Coach Buddy White.
I'd like to start off by thanking the Hall of Fame for inviting. This is a really nice event. It's good to be able to talk to my brethren up here about different things, and you guys do a first-class job, and really appreciate what you guys do. You know, legendary coach Bill Parcells once said, "You are what your record says you are." We were 1-9 last year, and after I looked at film, we should have been 0-10, you know. we didn't look good. Fortunately, we have everybody back. And so the one thing that we really knew that we had to do is we had to start working on developing our players, you know, because we were getting pushed around, shoved around. We weren't strong enough, weren't fast enough. Bunch of guys that are playing that should have been playing on Saturday morning, okay? And so we put together a morning lifting program that I wasn't sure was gonna work. And when we first started, the first day there, you know, we got 35 kids there. And I'm like, whoa. But you gotta think, you know, well, I said, well, how many kids we're gonna have week 15, you know, day 15? And lo and behold, the kids kept coming. They are so much, our kids are so much bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. They got experience from getting their brains beat out last year, you know, but these kids have bought into my program. Last year I didn't get there really full-time till like May. This year I started from the beginning. The kids have really responded to our program, you know, and I love those kids. Now, we got the physical part down. The mental part is the fact that Claymont has won 9 games in 6 years. That is as ugly as it gets. And so whenever the kids start getting cocky, I remind them of that every day. Make sure that they understand. You guys want to go through this crap? You know, I sure as hell don't. And so these kids really bought in. They went to work. You know, I knew that we had to work on their heads mentally, you know, and so we did a lot of things to compete in a lot of different areas. We had a really good, you know, summer 7-on-7 season. Actually won a tournament that had a bunch of Division II and Division III teams in it. We took them on and, you know, we won the tournament. And, you know, we were pretty excited about that. But I reminded the kids that, you know, all we're known for is 1 and 9. And it's up to us to change the narrative. And the kids have done everything that you could ask kids to do. They were totally in. I got a great senior class that really bought in. And what it did is it brought the underclassmen in. And, you know, we had what we call the 21 Club, meaning that, you know, going with the philosophy is you do something 21 consecutive times, that it becomes a habit. And so we use that philosophy for our football, for our off-season weightlifting. And it did work. Kids, once they hit 21, they kept coming, 6 o'clock in the morning. And by the time we got to the summer, we found out that we had 46 kids that were part of the 21 Club. That's big, you know, and those kids kept coming. They're still coming now. They don't miss practice. I got about 53 kids out, you know, which is a high number compared to some of the other years that they've had. But, you know, I love those kids. Those kids are ready to play ball. We'll find more out about ourselves on Friday when we scrimmage Toronto. They're coming up. We'll find a lot about our team then. Again, I thank the Hall of Fame. Great seeing my brethren. I have to leave because I got a 1 and 9 team that's practicing right now. Okay, so I hope I don't want to disrespect the Hall of Fame. I've talked to them, let them know that, you know, I need to get down there and practice, even though they probably do just fine without me. But I don't want to take that chance. Thank you very much.
The Tuscarawas Central Catholics, Giovanni, I don't know.
All right, like you said, my name is Giovanni Iono, entering second year at Tuscarawas Central Catholic. First of all, I'd like to start off by thanking the Hall of Fame for putting this on. This is a wonderful event. Football is important in Tuscarawas County, and I think this room shows just a small piece of how important it is to all of us. I also would like to congratulate Coach Lancaster on winning state title for Tuscarawas County. That's fantastic. So I would like to move on by saying thank you to my administration. They've been very supportive of Central Catholic football, and to my coaching staff, which is a better coaching staff than this school deserves, and I'm lucky to have them. Last year I stood up here and I was just a freshly hired coach. I took over with 8 kids last year, and when I was here, the number one question was, are you going to have a team? How many kids do you have? And I lied to everyone. I said I had 17 or 15, whatever. I had 12 when I was here last year. So I proudly can say now I'm at 27, which at Central Catholic in the second year of a rebuild is very good, considering we have about 50 boys in the school, so my percentage is excellent. So we are moving forward at Central Catholic football. Last year was a total rebuild. We got through the season to prepare ourselves for this upcoming season. We only had 2 seniors on the staff, on the team, which puts us, we have 15 returning lettermen. We have a lot of experience as far as, young guys that got a chance to play. So this year we're looking to take that next step. For us, the next step, I'm not a genie. I don't know how many wins exactly I'm going to have. What I do know is we are going to compete. We are going to make strides in the right direction. We are going to have successes on the fields, and we are going to get some wins this year. That's something I do know. And that's because the boys have dedicated themselves to turning Central Catholic football around. As much as any of us coaches want to have the greatest speech in the world or say whatever we want, have the best game plan, if your kids don't believe in it, you're not going anywhere. And that's one thing I can say is our boys are starting to believe in the process of what it takes to win football games and what it takes to move on and to become a better team and to grow. And we're still a young team. I only have a couple seniors on this team. So we're looking bright for the future. So that's the biggest part that is exciting for Central Catholic football is we are going to get better. We're going to continue the rise to get better. I have a pretty decent senior this year that's going to be leading the way for us. I have a couple good juniors. So we have enough experience to be able to take care of business. So again, it's about all I wanted to say. I want to thank everyone for having us and look forward to Central Catholic football growing in the future. Thank you.
We got Matt Reese.
The old guy to the semi-young guy. I'm not 40 yet. That's what I keep telling everyone. I make sure I remind her of that as well. So to follow suit, just want to say thank you to the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame. I was fortunate enough to be at this event last year. It's a great kickoff to the season, brings a lot of excitement, and again, in a community that's excited about football. Thank my administration, Seth Corder, our assistant superintendent, Tim McCrate, our athletic director, Carrie McCrate, our superintendent, Brooke Grafe, our high school principal. Tommy's not an administrator, but Tommy is here. That's Mrs. Grafe's husband. And then my wife is actually here, so I did make her come along. She's a language arts teacher, so she can critique me after we're done here. Let me know what I need to improve for my next public speaking event. I also need to thank our booster club, the Toretto clubs here. They not only do a lot for our program, but they do a lot for the Dover athletics in general. They're hosting, helping put together a volleyball preview, Tuscarawas County volleyball preview in Crater Stadium on Saturday. So if you're not doing anything, pop on out to Crater. So I'll put a plug in for you guys, Crater Tornado Club. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome with that one. Also, thank my coaching staff. I have a great coaching staff, and so I'm sure I'll get the inevitable question at some point about, what's it like following Dan Ift? I've heard that. I can't even count how many times I've heard that. But the coaching staff that I have, 6 of us on staff played for Coach Ift. The rest of us have at least coached for him. So we talk about the values that the program has, that Coach Ift brought to the program. Those are values that we'll continue to take along with us. And it'd be amiss if I did not mention the coaches that are sitting here. I would say the majority of us, if not all of us, didn't get into coaching for the X's and the O's. The X's and the O's are great, but this game brings something that's far beyond the X's and the O's and the scheme that it brings. This game brings life lessons that you can't learn anywhere else. Lessons such as dealing with adversity, persevering in tough times, selflessness. And so I think that, again, whether you've coached at the youth level, whether you've coached at the high school level or anywhere else, I want to thank you guys for spending the time to help mold young people into our future. All right, moving on to the 25 version of the Crimson Tornadoes. We have 50 on our roster right now, which is up. Last year we had 38 in sophomore through senior. So now I figured out why. With Giovanni running around knocking on doors in Dover. So at least we know that we got 12 of them back. So again, we're sitting at 50 on our roster as of today. We have 30 in our freshman class, 31 in our 8th grade class, and 27 in our 7th grade class. So that's exciting to see that there's an upward trend in our enrollment with our football program. Of those 50 on our varsity JV roster, 19 of them are seniors. So I did not learn from the dean of football yet here, or the new dean rather, because I already put it down in my notes, so I'm not going to take it out. Returning on offense for us, we have Jack Judkins, Justice Hughes, Kale Oswald, and Robbie Capo at wide receiver. And then on the offensive line, Grant Smith, Cam Nauer, and Brady Hart. Defensively, we only returned 5. Dante Clark, Liam Mast, and Mason Royer and Carson McGarry playing the inside linebacker, and Gavin Herman on the defensive line. And so, again, we ended up with 38 on our roster last year, but it seemed like starting week 4, we were dealt at least one significant injury a week to a starter. So thanks for starting that trend, Matt. Appreciate that. So yeah, but what it forced our kids to do, our young kids, was grow up fast. And we had anyone that's played the game understands at each level there's a different speed to the game, there's a different strength to the game. And so we had a freshman who came from playing 8th grade football right into varsity football. And so we also had some sophomores that had to play early. Actually had another freshman that started his very first varsity start was the first round of the playoffs. And so again, we had some young kids that had to grow up really fast, and they embraced that. And we talk about the adversity that we face in this game. And so it was very encouraging to see that they could have stepped away, they could have walked away, they could have made excuses, but even through their mistakes, they continued to grow. So we're looking forward to seeing the continued growth with our program. We talk about our schedule. Week 1, we travel up 77 to Canton to play Glen Oak, followed by Maple Heights coming to us week 2. West Holmes is our week 3 game, and then Columbus Academy comes to us week 4. Then we get into our Ashland, our Steubenville, Lindsley, Worcester, Madison Comprehensive. Those are in no particular order, by the way. And then we end with our rival over with New Philadelphia. So Mike, looking forward to, I texted you about that back in February. Looking forward to our pregame talk there. So, but again, that's a quick little highlight of this year's team. Again, very optimistic, very excited. I want to thank again all the coaches again, and thank the Hall of Fame for putting this event on. Same question? I figured. As far as the 12 teams, yes, I'm in support of that. When that was proposed, if you don't know my background, I used to be an accountant, so I'm big on analyzing numbers. So I pulled Division III. I looked at all of Division III and looked at the point differentials between the 1 and 16 seed, the 2 and 15 seed, and I said there was over a 40-point differential in those games. And most of that is with the running clock and the fact that coaches are saying, hey, let's pull back on our starters to give them a little more time for rest and recovery. I said probably 16 teams playing 16. That's probably a little too many. And so looking at the 12 teams with the first 4 getting a bye, I said it forces coaches to schedule up a little bit, harder schedule, in my opinion, because you want to get in one of those first 4 games. I remember my freshman year in college at Mount Union, at the time, NCAA Division III, if you won your conference, you got a bye in the first round. And so we had a 5th-year senior starting at linebacker, and the 3rd play of our last regular season game, he had an injury to his lower leg. So he wasn't going to be able to play that next week. He had that whole next week for rest and recovery. Otherwise, there would have been this lonely freshman, starting in the first round of the NCAA playoffs. So it allows for that time, especially after a brutal 10-week season, for a little bit of rest and recovery for those teams that earn those top 4 spots.
Okay, for our next coach, we're going to go up to New Philadelphia and hear from Mike Johnson.
All All right, good evening. Thanks for having us here. We're really excited to be here. Thanks for our admin team coming out. I think they've had a couple of days of grueling meetings, so I'm hopefully they were able to relax a little bit. The Quaker Club, thank you, and our coaches. We had a handful of our coaches came out tonight, and I'm very lucky to have these guys with us. When I think about football, I think about community, and what we see here is great because this is what it's all about. You know, there's people that coached football here, coached basketball, coached all kinds of sports here, that played high school athletics, that played for these teams, that cared for these teams, that practice and fight and compete with their friends and build these great bonds. And it's all thanks to community, and it's all thanks to the high school athletics, and we're very fortunate, all of us up here. This is a great community to be in, as far as coaches, as far as head coaches, everyone up here. It's fun at the beginning of the year to see everybody here. You know, maybe we'll see you at WTUZ if you all got invited next week. But it's good to see everybody. It's good to be able to talk a little bit and find out kind of where we're going, because as far as the time, the effort, the energy that these coaches, and all the coaches, the assistant coaches, everyone, and really it's for every sport, that the time that everyone puts in, it's nice to have some of that fellowship and that excitement to be around each other. And I know I'm excited that our guys were able to enjoy it. As far as I saw them go up and get, I didn't know we had desserts here. Last year I don't think we did, Hank. And I saw them go up there, and thanks for Jeff Haney hooking me up. But as far as we get into to football, getting into football this year, it's super exciting. The Quakers, we're coming off a 7-3 season. We're excited to get things going. We've been working through two-a-days, talking with the other coaches up here, and knowing where we're at as a team. It's hard to tell where we're at as a team. You know, we've got some things that we like. We got some things that we're working on. And we're going to continue to do that right now, because this is one of those core periods where you find out who your guys are. You find out who gels as an offensive line. You find out who's going to be able to run the ball for you a little bit. You find out who's willing to block for you, who's willing to do some of those selfless things, throw their body in there, wrong arm, and go tackle a big running back. These are the times you get that experience. And what's great is it comes back to that community again. We've been surrounded with, we've had moms help feed our kids throughout the course of this last week. We've had parents, grandparents cooking for our kids, showing up every day. And then our players. The players is who it's all about. It's about these kids who come out and do it week in, day out. And it's so fun to see our kids come out with these two-a-days and work through it, work through pain, work through adversity, work through some of that discomfort as Coach Watson now tapes them too tight sometimes. But it's fun to see them compete, and it's fun to see them have fun with their friends and make these memories. And that's what this is all about. It's about growing as a team and growing as a community. And I know New Philadelphia, we're really blessed to have that. And we're going to continue to work on it through the rest of this week. We're going to find out a little bit more about ourselves on Saturday morning as we get a scrimmage, our first scrimmage in. We're going to find a little bit more about it the following week as Green comes to town and we get to scrimmage them. And then definitely as this season kicks off, we'll have more of an identity of who we are. But we have a great senior class. They're selfless kids. They've worked very, very hard, and they're committed to our team. They've been a member of teams that have had success, a little bit more success, a little bit less success, but they've been competing with the older classes to kind of grow, and now that's their chance to kind of forge their way. And that's one of the coolest parts about high school athletics is as you get rid of a senior class, you're always going to miss the people that leave. But you're always going to have new kids step up. You're having new groups step in. You're having different freshmen come in. And it's great to see these kids as they mature and as they get coached hard, how they respond day in and day out. And that's what we're kind of in the thick of it right now. And I know after this we're all going to go home and get like 5 hours of sleep and wake up and do it again. But it's so much fun to see that growth and to see that excitement. And then and when you compliment them and you talk to them and say, hey, you've really been picking this up. This is starting to come in a little bit better. To see that confidence and see these kids get a little bit of a spark and grow, that's one of the things that makes this thing really worthwhile. So we're very fortunate, very excited to see Matt week 10 excited to see where all these guys, kind of advance throughout the course of this year, and just really happy to be here and happy for where we're going. And as far as a 12-team or 16-team playoff goes, as that goes, Tom, when they first did that, that was COVID, and we were a top 4 team, and we had a bye week, and it was awesome. It was awesome. We were able to scout, we were able to prep, we were able to take an entire week of practice and get better without getting any worse. We were able to grow, we were able to learn, we were able to kind of just start building, for that following game. Well, who do we think is going to win? A little bit of everybody's, a little bit of both teams, but we're a little heavy on, Team Ace material. And it was great for us because we were able to be prepared even more so for week 12, which was wonderful. So being on that side was fantastic. A couple of years ago, we were a 16 seed. We went up to Youngstown Ursuline, and it was not a pretty sight. They were fast, they were good, and they beat us, and they beat us badly. Now, going back to this is all about kids. When this first came out, I voted because I was in favor of a 12-team playoff instead of a 16-team playoff. Is it great that those kids got to experience an extra week of football? Heck yeah. High school football's special. You get 4 years of good football in your life. If you're fortunate, maybe you can steal a couple years in college. But the bond that you get with your high school teammates is different than what you get with your college teammates. We got a kid at a D1 college, and I was texting him this week because I saw him pop up on their post. You can see his face in the background, and it was cool because he's having fun, he's getting some love there, and it's been good. But it's a different bond because he hasn't known those guys for 17 years. He's known those kids for 4 years. So our kids getting to play in week 11, was that special for that class? I think it was. So it's one of those things that is it's out of our control. And I think that might be the best part about it. It's out of our control. But it's still a special experience because playoff football is good football. Week 1 football is good football, and really all football is good football. So we're blessed to have that. So thank you, and go Quakers, and good luck to everyone.
And hear from our veteran coach down there, Dirk Gadd from Newcomerstown.
I am going to save my thank yous until the end and go ahead and jump right into it. We're looking for another exciting season at Newcomerstown. Last season was highlighted by our playoff win at Grove City Christian, which set us up for a second round playoff game just 8 miles down the road from Newcomerstown in West Lafayette. Although we didn't get the outcome we wanted in that game, it was an electric environment. And that's an experience that I hope sets our program up to take the next step. My biggest concern going on into this season was we would start to become complacent, not on the same level that Coach Lancaster is worried about. We've had a few winning seasons in a row, and I was worried that we might start to forget how hard we worked to get here. I can say that this group quickly erased any doubt that I had about how we would approach this upcoming season. We've had our best participation and our most intense summer workouts that we've ever had. I don't know how many wins that's going to translate into, but I told our guys how much respect I have for them because it says a lot about their character. This season, we've been really focusing on building mental toughness. The longer I coach, the more I understand the importance of building character traits that set our students athletes up for success later in life. There have been plenty of times over the years that I've been here where our team has shown grit and mental toughness. There have also been times when we struggled, when we faced adversity. If we can learn to stay true to ourselves and our core values in the tough times, that's a win that I will always remember. We return 11 lettermen this season, including our leading rusher and our receiver. We'll be counting on several younger players to step in and fill some key positions. We were able to play JV games last season, which is something that we haven't been able to do in several years at Newcomerstown. And with 38 players currently on our roster, we'll be able to do that again this year. The strength of our team this year is going to be our physical strength. We continue to make strides in the weight room. This group will be the biggest, fastest, strongest group that we've put on the field since I've been here. We won't, however, be the tallest. I think we only have 2 players on our roster that are over 6 foot. And I always thought height was overrated anyway. Offensively, we're planning to expand our playbook a little bit, which means we're going to look for even more ways that we can run the football. And defensively, last year one of our goals was to give up fewer big plays, which we were able to accomplish this season, and we're going to look to build upon that. New additions to our schedule this year are Crooksville and Harrison Central, and we'll open up at home this year with Crooksville. Finally, I'd like to say congratulations to Coach Lancaster and the Indian Valley Braves on their state championship season. Thank you to the Tuscarawas County Hall of Fame for having us here to talk high school football. Thank you to my administration and my booster club and my wife who is back there. And she deserves all the praise she gets. She actually filled my deer feeder for me today while I was out at football camp. So I want to say good luck to all the area football teams and go Trojans. Thank you. And as far as the playoffs go, we actually made it in this season as an 11 seed, and we beat a 4 seed, which doesn't necessarily happen that often. I'm not 100% sure what I think about it. I like playing more football. I feel like 12 is probably a good fit, but every now and then you get those exceptions where a really lower seed pulls off a miraculous win. So I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it, but they'll get it right eventually. Thanks.
Waiting out of the Park Strasburg, it's Jim Morris.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you to the Hall of Fame, and I really appreciate being here. This is an exciting thing. It's an exciting event. Sorry about the voice. We're doing a little coaching this week, so it's been a little bit trying. But I got to thank these coaches for stealing all my excitement speech, because the last 2 years I talked about how exciting football is in this time of year, and you guys jumped in and trumped me. So now I got to come up with something different. So, this is a great, great event, and this is a great time to be a football coach, because it is exciting, but to look forward to all that's going to happen. Last year we talked about how exciting how this county came together, because we had so many teams in the playoffs, and we finally had one team break the glass ceiling and break through, and Tuscarawas County now is on the map as a state champion. Now we got to follow that up as coaches. It is our time to step up and do the same, because now we know we can do it. Tuscarawas County is a football hotbed, and we try to prove that each week. And these guys here work their tails off to get there, to do that, to make everybody proud about it. What I heard today was how we're looking forward to things. We are. The ceiling is so great that we have to reach. It's amazing, the prospects and the possibilities that our young people have. This time of year has so much promise. I look forward to this time of year more than any time of year. I love competing, but I love getting with these young men and seeing where we can place them and where they can be and what their possibilities are about. And for Strasburg, I think our possibilities this year are really good. Out of the 22 positions offensively and defensively, we return 18. Most of those guys out of those 18 have 3 years experience. And the ones that don't have started for the last 2. That needs to translate into something. And that's what we're working to do. The retention that our young people have right now is amazing. I can make a mistake on a play call, and I have a guy turn and tell me, "Coach, don't you want this?" It's like, it's instant from last year. And a lot had to do with the fact that we did have an extra week of practice. We did finally break the hump and get into the playoffs. And to answer the question early, Yeah, I voted for the 12-man playoff. I think it's important. Even though Strasburg benefited from coming in at 14 last year to make it, and how much it helped our kids. But I think playing a playoff schedule like what the pros have is ridiculous to ask 16, 17, 18-year-old men. That's a long season. That's tough to do. And for us, who needs to stay healthy, because our numbers, we don't have those replacements like most schools have, is critical. We got to keep them healthy. And playing that many games, it would really probably tax us pretty good. But that means we're probably pretty good too, so we're doing a good job. But the sky's the limit. I mean, I'm ready for a breakout season at Strasburg. The kids are ready for a breakout season at Strasburg. We were hungry. We're practicing hard, and I think we're ready to roll. Only time will tell, and we'll see what happens. But looking forward, yes. This time of year is exciting for me. It's new, it's inventive, it's a whole new crop coming in that you have to know. It's a whole new personality. It's a lot of fun. And we're going to have a lot of fun this year, one way or not. And I'm really excited about how this is going to end up. So thank you so much, and go Tigers.
Thank you, guys.
Well, you guys set the bar pretty high. It's pretty good speeches there. Sure, most of you know my situation. It's been pretty crazy at Tusky Valley, but it's going really well. We got real good supporting staff. We got great coaches, great kids that have been working hard. So we're just going to keep rolling forward, just trying to do the best we can, make the best out of the season, have some fun playing some football. It's hard not to have fun playing football. These kids have been great. I have a big stickler on attitude and effort. That's what we're working at. That's something that I got from a certain coach in this room that coached me at one time. These kids have come the last couple weeks. They've been working their butts off, and they really rallied around me and my coaching staff, and I really appreciate that. I'm not preaching wins and losses to these kids. We're preaching getting better, preaching every day, just working to be better than we were the day before. 120% effort is what I ask. It's been pretty easy. A lot of these kids, at one point in time in their life, I've coached them, so they know what I expect, and they've just translated right into it with the coaching change, and it's been great, and I can't complain. Looking forward to being a part of all this with you guys, great guys up here. These are good coaches. The community is great. This event is great, so thank you. That's all I really got. Thank you, guys.
So let's hear it for Jason Wallach.
Yeah. No, I might be the dean, but I'm not the oldest up here. And since Buddy left, I guess that probably goes to you, Jim. So thank you for that one, right? I'm only 48 years old. This is my 25th season, yes. So I got to thank Matt for his, what the heck do you call these? Readers.
Yeah, readers.
Readers, because I was taking notes over there and I couldn't read them, so I had to borrow his readers here. I guess it does tell you I'm getting old somewhere. I guess the eyes are about shot. So I do want to thank the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame for putting this on. It's a tremendous event. I'm glad you guys started it. This is the third year, is that correct? Third year, and it continues to grow. Before long, I don't know where you're going to hold it because the seats are filling up pretty quick. Would like to thank my administration up here. No, I'm sorry, this is Philly. Dang it. Now, in case you didn't know, I do got to let you on the inside of that. Leslie Seats taught at Garraway. Jeff Williams was at Garraway. Matt, you're related, but you weren't at Garraway. Ben Bartholomew, Josh Jarvis. Listen, you guys were the wrong colors. It's supposed to be red and blue, not red and black. But no, my administration for giving me the opportunity to coach. Hell, they take up every seat it's no wonder why they win all the door prizes. They take up all the seats in here too. Judas. All right. The community, tremendous support from our community. I know I mention it every year. Our kids are spoiled. It didn't feel like I was really the dean until
Well, hell, I already read that. That's what happens whenever I don't use my binoculars. No, that was a joke too, but anyway. All right. Personally do want to congratulate Matt Lancaster on the state championship, making us all proud. I know Matt mentioned it last year of all the support that we got when we made that Final Four run, and to see the support that everybody gives the county teams, the IVC teams, even more special, on the way to all their state championships, their state championship, phenomenal, and very proud of it. So looking at our schedule this year, 4 of our first 5 games are new. Expression Prep, week 2, Norwayne, week 3, Zanesville, week 4, Girard, week 5. It's a tough schedule for us as well. When you do win some football games, scheduling becomes very tough. I'll kind of talk about that with the playoffs too. We were 10-3 last year, coming off our 6th consecutive Sweet 16 appearance. Probably won't be in the Sweet 16 this year, but we'll give it our best shot. So, especially after losing our all-time leading rusher, our season-leading tackler. Our numbers are great. We've got 60 kids, 18 very quality seniors, 12 juniors, 18 sophomores, a very small freshman class of 14. And again, I think I said this when my son was a freshman. Unfortunately, I've done this now for 25 years, and I'm excited about my last one coming through, and their class isn't very good, and it's not very big, but we'll try to coach them up and do the best we can there. We've got 6 starters back on defense, 5 on offense, 19 returning lettermen. Our strength going to be up front. We feel very, very solid about our 4 out of our 5 offensive linemen who are returning starters for us. Our defensive line, 3 out of 3. Grady, we're trying to get better. You ran over our boys last year. Hopefully they grew into a little bit of men here in the off season. So anybody that's tried to tackle Grady Kinsey, that is not an easy chore, believe me. So I know why he came back one more year. I understand it. I really do. On the flip side of that, we got to replace some skilled kids. We only bring back 1 returning skill kid on offense and 3 on defense. So, but our kids have had a tremendous off season. Built a brand new weight room 2 years ago, and those kids have worked their tails off. We say it's the greatest game in the world and limited opportunities to play it. Try to take advantage of every opportunity you get because it is the greatest game in the world. It teaches you so many life lessons, discipline, time management, teamwork, all those good things. Hell, I'm out of breath. I must be getting older. Jeez. The last thing, Tom, I am not in support of, I shouldn't say I'm not in support of 12. I'm in support of 12, and only because they wouldn't go back to 8. And actually on my survey that they sent out, I wrote on the bottom, I said 12 is fine as long as because they gave me a place to comment. 12 is fine if you don't go back to 8. I'm still old school. I think you need to earn it. We worked our tails off for a really long time, taking over a program 25 years ago that wasn't very successful, and our kids bought in and did the things that we asked them to do, and we finally felt like we earned the playoffs. I think you need to earn those things. Again, it's old school, but I think you need to earn it, and 16 was definitely a gift. Now, I will say, Mike, I agree. I think it was Mike that said during that COVID year, we had that bye week as well, and boy, it was phenomenal. Guys got healthy. It was awesome, but I'm still an 8 playoff team guy. And I'm sure the old guys, the coach back here, and the older guys, I'm sorry, gentlemen, the older guys in the back of the room, they probably would like to see it go back to 4 because they earned it too whenever they coached. So that's all I got. Any other questions? Thank you.
On behalf of the Hall of Fame, I want to thank you all for attending this evening. Especially want to thank our coaches for taking time on your schedules to come here to present to us. The Hall has a lot of upcoming events. Coach Reese mentioned the event that we're doing in cooperation with the Dover Tornado Club and Alt Care. That'll be at Crater Stadium this Saturday. We have the 9 volleyball teams from this county and Highland competing from 4:30 to 8:30 at Crater Stadium. So come out and view your favorite team. Some other events we have coming up. We have the girls and boys basketball preview, which will be held, the girls is on November 3rd and the boys on November 10th. And then our big event, will be on June 20th next year, where we'll be having our third class that will be inaugurated into the Hall of Fame. That will be on June 20th at the Buckeye Career Center. So attend if you can. The applications for those nominations, the deadline is August 15th. So if you have someone in mind, please get that application in soon. And the last event that I'll announce is this event for next year. It'll be held on August the 4th. So everyone have a great evening and a safe trip home. Thank you.